Hey guys, and welcome back on my YouTube channel. It's your boy Troll, and in today's video I'm gonna showcase you top 8 heroes that are the best carry heroes for me. Again, top 8, which means there are other ones that are also amazing, but I will show you the best of the best that are the best of the best in my opinion. It makes sense, you understand. So again, there are champions that might be better on the tier list than the ones I'm gonna show you. However, in today's video, we're gonna focus basically on champions that you're gonna get, you're gonna build them and awaken them A5, and those champions will basically easily carry you from normal to hell campaign on their own, not needed any support whatsoever. With the correct emblems, builds, everything, you just can finish nightmare everything on their own. So again, that's the top 8, which means there are other champions that can do it. And quite frankly, any A5 champions that is a good damage dealer can do that on a leech set. But I will show you the best of the best, in my opinion, the best of the best. So yeah, without any further ado, let's jump to the first hero. So first of all, we're gonna have MELIA. I think without any surprise, she's one of the best champion to carry you basically through the game. For the emblems, I really recommend her to build her as a damage dealer at the beginning, and then slowly the more you advance in the game, and after you're gonna finally build some support heroes, you're gonna switch into that effect hit mastery. But early to be able to basically regen your HP from leech set, from the fearless set, vampire set, whatever, you really want her to do the damage. Now, for the artifacts, I would recommend first artifact, crit rate, second artifact, effect hit, and last artifact, attack or HP based on your gear and the sub stats you have. But there is nothing specific. Basically, you want her to do the most damage you can without the HP burn to basically regen your HP. And then eventually, the later and the further you go into the game, you're gonna slowly switch from dealing damage to making sure that she's gonna apply the effect burn. So that's all for MELIA, and that's why choice number 1. Let's go to the choice number 2. So same as MELIA, I think without any surprise, Xia is also an amazing champion to carry you through early, mid, late game. Same emblems as MELIA at the beginning. However, you're gonna keep those till the very late. She will not change the emblems. In terms of the gear, you're also gonna put basically at the beginning leech, and then slowly you're gonna go into crit rate, crit damage. But till you don't have enough of sustain, you will have to remain on leech, or at least till you don't have a build support hero to support her and regenerate her HP, etc, etc. But on her own, just on a leech set, with the amount of crit rate, she can really do the job. She's an amazing hero. So yeah, I don't think there is any need for further explanations. Everyone wants a Xia anyway. So then we go to Sana. Sana is also an amazing hero to carry you. Basically, thanks to the fact that she will boost her crit rate, you really don't have to build her much into crit rate to land those juicy damage, huge crit damage numbers. Her passive will also make sure that you basically on a boss fight will gather and gather more and more damage, so you will not be lacking damage eventually if you don't have a HP burn whatsoever. So Sana is also a very good champion. In terms of the emblems, same as Xia, you want to go obviously burst damage on her. You can even eventually put her on attack instead of crit rate, because if you have basically the 50% from her ultimate and then maybe a little bit of sub stats plus the first artifact will be also crit rate, overall most of the time you're gonna have enough of crit rate to make the damage. So yeah, again, there is a lot of place of improvements, but yes, Sana, amazing champion. Yeah, obviously all the auras emblems will be shown on the screen right now. Again, you start with the leech set and then slowly you go into crit rate, crit damage once you start building those supports. But early game, all you want to have is either the leech set or eventually fearless set if you can. And then late game, very late game, you go into crit rate, crit damage or crit rate attack once there's something else to keep her alive. So the next champion is Walter. Now Walter, thanks to his passive, you don't really need to build him as a damage dealer. I would focus on the effect hit from the beginning. I would still put a leech set. However, in terms of emblems, in terms of auras, artifacts, etc., I would mainly focus on mastery and effect hit. You're gonna mainly regen from his passive, Walter is not a huge damage dealer, so he won't do as much damage as, for example, Sana, Xia, Melia, or other champions will do and regenerate from the leech set. So I would say Walter is mainly to be focused on effect hit. You want to land those poisons so he can just regenerate, and the leech set at the beginning is just there to give you a little bit more survivability, but the further you progress, the more you basically want attack, effect, hit, mastery, and obviously effect will always remain the top one stat for anyone who applies dots, especially someone like Walter and OKMIN, which we're gonna get later. But yeah, all the emblems, auras are on the screen. In terms of artifacts, first artifact mastery, effect hit into attack. Now if you die too often, HP, and that's it. Let's go to the next one. Then we have Serena. Serena is an amazing carry as well. Basically, she not only gonna make insane damage with her ultimate, and it's a AoE, so you're gonna clear faster, but on top of that, she also have self-sustain with a shield. So yes, you're gonna start emblems as a pure damage dealer, and you're gonna just continue like that. You don't need effect hit, obviously. Also, her ultimate makes more damage the less enemies, so it will also be amazing for the boss fights. And yeah, overall, Serena, an amazing carry champion. You're gonna start with elite set, and then eventually, once you're also gonna start build those support heroes that will maintain you in life, you can switch to crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, attack. Also, if you're lucky enough, when you start with leech, you can maybe also put a fearless set, so only you have leech but also crit rate. But eventually, late game, you're gonna have that crit rate, crit damage set, or crit rate attack set, depending on your stat and your substats. In terms of the artifacts, for the first one, you're gonna go into crit rate, then you're gonna go into attack, and then attack. Unless you are dying a bit too fast, one of them might be HP, but the attack and artifacts with crit rate is the main stats for sure. Then we have a pick that is new on my list, to be quite honest, but it's TAFF. Basically, TAFF for me is an amazing champion because he doesn't really have to do any damage. All you need to do is just to build him, put them there on the waves, and even if he doesn't attack, just thanks to his passive, he'll like apply those poisons. He will also control and apply even more poisons with his ultimate, and eventually he also have self-heal on his S2. So this is like a pure support damage dealer over time. Now, yes, he won't basically clear as fast as the other champions, but in terms of survivability and control, he's just so good. Now, in terms of emblems, you're gonna build him in a tanky way with effect hit. Again, you don't really gonna do a lot of damage. His poisons already gonna do a lot of damage thanks to his passive, so there is not a real need to go into mastery early on. This is something you can go into late game, but early game just try to make him as tanky as possible so he survives, and by surviving he's just gonna continue putting those poisons every way, every turn, and everyone eventually just gonna die and you're just gonna survive. So that's the main, basically that's how TAFF will work. In terms of gear, obviously we're gonna start not even with leech set. I don't recommend leech set. Actually, I recommend either speed HP set or even the heal HP set that you get from the campaign quest. And then eventually later in the game, you're gonna go into effect hit and mastery. Same for the artifacts. I would go into mastery, effect hit, HP, or even maybe speed, but I think HP would be the best for him. I wouldn't really focus on attack on him. He will still do amazing damage without it. But if you see that he's not doing as much damage as you want, you can basically just switch from defensive to attack and support emblem tree. Next on the list is OKMIN. Obviously for me, it's my best champion because obviously I'm biased. I have him and I can prove that OKMIN literally carried my ass from normal, hard, nightmare to beginning of hell mode. He doesn't really need much to survive because he has his passive that will basically regenerate your HP based on the burn, HP burn, explosions, everything. And since you're gonna apply everything with every single skill, he's just gonna survive on his own. So you don't need leech set, you just basically want effect hit, mastery, HP, and that's it. The emblem tree is the same. You're gonna go into mastery and support, or eventually mastery and defense tree. It's really up to you to understand if you have enough of effect hit. And yeah, in terms of auras, you're gonna start with effect hit into mastery or HP. Really, again, depends where you are, what substats you have. Artifacts, you're gonna start with mastery into effect hit, into HP or speed. Again, it's your choice. You need to understand if he dies, not what is he lacking, but those are the best options for him overall. And let's go into the next champion. For the gear, like I said, effect hit mastery. You can also put HP or speed. It's really up to you. But end game, you want that effect hit mastery. At the beginning, since you maybe not gonna get any good effect hit mastery sets, you can also start with HP. You're also gonna get a mastery set from the campaign. So you know there's a lot of things you can work with. But in terms of substat, focus on this effect hit mastery HP to basically survive even more. Then we're gonna have Turf. It's basically Holder on steroids with a way higher chance to apply poisons. However, I will still build him the same as MELIA. Thanks to his counters, he's gonna basically attack all the time and do really good damage on his attacks. The poison for me is just a bonus, but I would concentrate and build him the same as MELIA, starting with crit damage into Leech, then Fearless, and then later in the game, eventually effect hit mastery. But I really don't see him like a pure poisoner. I think he actually does a lot of damage. He really does a lot of damage. But then end game, you really want him to stack those poisons on your enemy whenever he gets hit. So again, you start by Leech set into effect hit and mastery. Obviously in between you have Fearless, that's even better. For the emblems, again, it's gonna be crit rate, crit damage, whatever, into effect hit mastery later on. And for the artifacts, you're gonna start with crit rate, attack, HP, or even crit rate, effect hit, HP. But eventually, late game, you're gonna go into mastery, effect hit, HP. Not even HP, sorry, attack, because poisons are based on attack. And that's it from him. So yeah, guys, for me, those are the best 8 carry champions in the game. Again, I'm not saying there are not other champions that can carry you. I really believe that most of the champions A5 that do nice damage on a lead set can carry you. But those are the best of the best, in my opinion. Again, if you disagree, make sure to leave a comment. I also invite you to join and discuss it on my Discord. The link will be in the description. And yeah, overall, make sure to follow, like, subscribe. And I also think this guide will really help you because obviously this Friday we're gonna have the double legend event. So it's also a good video to help you understand which hero you should reroll for. Anyway, guys, I hope you have an amazing weekend and I will see you soon in the next video.